Well, representatives of SAG-AFTRA and the major Hollywood studios are picking up negotiations today since the union went on strike back on July 14th.
Yeah, both sides are hoping to end the stalemate over issues like pay and the use of artificial intelligence. SAG-AFTRA's priorities include improved payment terms for vulnerable members like extras, background actors, and day players. The union is also seeking to regulate generative artificial intelligence and reuse of actor likenesses using
whoops now and then with some actors getting in trouble for sharing things because it's hard not to show pride in something that you've already done.
You're working so hard. Yeah.
One of the things that stands out to us is so much of the attention obviously gets paid to the A-listers. The ones with the biggest paychecks.
Yeah, they're fine.
Right, we talk about their net worth, and it's like when you really get down to it, I mean, we said it in the intro, things like whether it's someone that just works extras or day actors behind the scenes, but the people that are required to make these productions work, and so many times they're forgotten about to the average viewer.
Yeah, of course. Someone like me, I mean, I'm coming in for co-star roles, guest star roles, recurring guest star roles, but I'm coming in at minimum wage, at the minimum contract, right? Okay. So we're trying to raise that minimum contract to reflect 30 years of inflation, and even the past 3 years of inflation, which is record inflation for all Americans. So if we were to continue with the contract that we had, we'd be in essence be getting a pay cut because of inflation.
Amelia, you've said you've been acting pretty much your entire life, but you really haven't had to deal with the threat of AI. Actors really haven't had to deal with anything like that until most recently. So how are you feeling about that, and what are your thoughts on? Obviously, you're against it. You're against that.
Yeah. I mean, I try to avoid all those kinds of TikTok videos and Instagram videos where they're like, "Look, Michael Jackson singing Lady Gaga." I mean, this is just disrespect at the utmost. To take someone's likeness and their voice and their art, and to just deform it in a way, right? It's something that they never did. Yes, nostalgically, as an audience, I can see the want of that, but it is, as an artist, it's hard to see something like that and to see that that's possible, because you never know. What the networks wanted to do was to be able to scan a background artist, pay them for 1 day of work, and then be able to use their image in any way they wanted without any kind of permission or any kind of negotiation, any pay, anything. Like, just put them in any way they wanted without their permission.
Wow. Well, and it's this odd gray area. I mean, you obviously bring a talent to the table, or they wouldn't need you there, but in the same token, they want to say, oh, well, no, we'll just copy and paste you, over and over and over again.
Right. And it may be in a position that you don't want to be in a movie that you wouldn't want to be in, or, and clothing you wouldn't want to be in. Right. You have no rights at that point.
So you're saying the A-listers, they're fine. The big companies, how is this affecting them?
I say the actors, we're used to gigging, we're used to temp work. We were in the most part pretty prepared. I mean, we had the SAG-AFTRA Foundation had money set aside for people that were really struggling, but the AMPTP and the networks, they're the ones that are really struggling, because they've already lost hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue, in current and future revenue. Actors weren't able to promote current projects, so that I'm sure lost them a lot of money. And that's more than what we were asking for to begin with. So we're really glad that they're finally, ready to come to the table and have some meaningful negotiations with us.
Do you get any hope, because the writers were able to figure it out, that you guys will be able to?
We're cautiously hopeful, as they've been saying. The writers were able to get, what they wanted and more, I believe. And so we're excited for these negotiations to really get started, and we feel that they're going to be significant negotiations for sure.
So, Amelia, can you talk about the next steps? Like, if you wanted to prepare for these next steps, what can an actress like yourself do?
Yeah, so right now during the downtime, if you're able, it's really important to take stock of your assets, to make sure your web presence is, where you want it to be. Make sure your headshots, your reels especially. Now, my company, Ricono Productions, can help you with that. If you're looking for demo reel footage, if you're unable to get your own footage. It's really hard. As an actor, there's a vicious cycle. If you can't get auditions without footage, and you can't get footage without auditions. So we're here to help you bridge that gap. Produce your own, footage, produce your own films, and we can help you with that.
Use the downtime to kind of get ahead.
Yeah,
really.
Get ahead so that when those opportunities come, because they're coming, where they're hoping that they're going to have actors back on set by November so that they can kind of get people in for the mid-season, which is January.
Well, in that sense, it's not a light switch like it's going to come right to our televisions, but it's a light switch in the sense that you guys are back to work.
Yeah, we're back to work in November.
Sets, we can get
so that we can get footage, so we can get all the
moving.
shows in January. So.
And then we can have you back on to talk about it.
Yes.
And promote.
Yes.
And promote.
And talk about your next project.
Yes.
That will be fun.
That'll be exciting.
This is
for sure.
rare, right? We're finishing an interview. So what are you working on now?
I know.
Yeah, we're
We can't
working on
say it.
helping other actors.
Yes.
Is what we're working on.
Standing
Excited
together,
for it.
right?
Yeah.
But it requires that because again, if a handful of A-listers that really get the attention, and you guys really need to go arm in arm.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
get
it
your
gets hard,
message out
with
there.
the elite Hollywood, that whole idea. But there's those of us that just live in Middle America. We're just working class, and we're just trying to get by and feed our families.
And do what you love.
Do what we love.
For our
Yeah, right.
benefit.
Exactly.
Yeah, for your entertainment.
Amelia, thank you so much for coming on the show. We hope to have you back soon and hope
Yes.
that deal is reached very soon.